Okay, guys, now for something a little different. Mike Shoen has invited me over to have a look at his, I would call it an antique one-of-one motorhome, apparently built off of a 1952 Oldsmobile. So there's your classic car segment. And, you know, we'll do a little bit of looking around at that thing and see something unique, some shenanigans here on St. Patrick's Day. So come on along, we'll have some fun. Yeah. I'm just looking at this overhang, the way this was even designed, this little shade.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
It's got louvers in it, and
yeah, the guy was a thoughtful guy. See how all these screw heads, these are a nice plating.
Yeah.
On these, and they're all new.
Wow, that's beautiful. So are they like a stainless steel, I guess?
I don't know, but they probably are, but
yeah.
But they had this whole thing uncovered.
Okay.
And you could see light in it.
All right.
I've got one picture of Richard standing behind the door, the frame of the door, like opening the door, but there's nothing there except the frame.
Wow.
But
yeah. So let's take me back to how you found this vehicle in the first place.
Well, I had a vintage travel trailer.
Okay.
And so I was looking for something like this that was pretty cool, and this was a great design, I think, for what it is.
Yeah.
And so I found that in Hemmings Motor News, and the guy, you know, I paid him money for it, but not a lot of money, but it was in terrible condition.
Uh-huh.
And you could say that nothing worked.
Yeah.
And all the insulation and the interior need to be replaced, and the entire outside was taken apart, the corrugated metal, and put new fasteners put in. It's Richard Pierman from Midwest City, Oklahoma. And
okay.
If anybody's watching this and knows him, they should say, Richard, you're quite a craftsperson.
Okay.
Because he is. And so this was in the 07-08 time when we had that big bust in economics and home building and lots of construction. So Joe said, well, I got to go. I'm moving up to Seattle, Washington. I'm going to live in a commercial building, and I'm going to work for $20 an hour because there's no work here in remodeling at all.
Right.
And that was true. So I said, well, Joe, I got this piece of junk here, why don't you rebuild it? I'll sure pay you $20 an hour.
Okay.
And you can stay here at your house and with your family and save money.
Okay.
And so Joe started on, and he said, Mike, I am not good enough to do the interior on this.
Okay.
Because this is really neat. The entire interior needs to be replaced, all the wood, and there's nothing square, and you need a really competent guy. And my buddy, who is in Oklahoma, where I came from, Richard, he can do that, and he doesn't have any work at all. I was really, it was a really good fortune for me, and they needed work, so they did a great job on it.
Okay.
And the theory was that it was a rat rod anyway, and I'm not going to make the outside attempt to be super slick, to be nice at all. So that's about the story.
Let it be what it is. So what kind of vehicle is it? Like where did this
This started as a 1952 Oldsmobile Rocket 88.
Okay.
A sedan.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a four-door or two-door. And there's the motors in there, the transmission's in there, same thing. The X has a GM X-frame on the bottom. This is obviously a lot heavier than even the Rocket 88 car, so we had to put, someone had put heavier springs in the back.
Mm-hmm.
We put the heaviest shocks we could find in the back, and believe it or not, there was an option for heavier shocks in the front, and we put them in the front. It's still not enough for the vehicle.
Okay.
And the same Hydromatic 3-speed transmission is in it. We fixed a myriad of little things, mechanical things, but never had to go into the motor and, do something like grind the valves or even replace the carburetor.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so the thing, it doesn't, you know, it'll do 55 on the freeway up a very slight grade.
Okay.
But more than that, it's not going to do. And so consequently, it's not particularly safe on a freeway because everybody's going 75.
Right.
And they'll hit you.
Yeah.
So it's okay on 2-lane roads, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It had a Wyoming license plate
Okay.
on it when I bought it, but more than that, it's got this image in the front and back,
Huh.
which may mean that it was built up there in Wyoming.
Yeah.
So if it was built on a 1952 Olds, then my guess is this was built sometime during the early Winnebago days where they sort of took a Winnebago and made it a little bit better looking.
Sure.
So I'm guessing this was made in the early 70s.
Yeah. Okay.
After the 1952 car had become like junk. Yeah, they did a good job. All this is original. They were, you know, somebody who knew how to do metalwork
Right.
did it. I mean, it's pretty good for a homemade job.
Right.
And then I added this this searchlight here because obviously we need a searchlight on this thing if we're
Right. When you
prowling around.
looking for a place to camp, let's say.
Yeah, we replaced some of the lights up there are replaced. I bought, of course, the lights are used when I bought them. So,
Sure.
And then after Joe got this thing all done structurally and livable, then it sat around for a while as yard art. And then I have another friend, Eric Crow, who lives around here in Maricopa County, Krogh. And Eric is super perfectionist. So Eric went all over the thing and got all the lights to work, all the instruments. You know, I can't remember. He might even time the thing. And so we took, this is so tall it wouldn't fit in this garage back there. So I bought a set of just raw wheels, and we drove it in on the wheels because it dropped. If you have no tire on it, it drops it down more than 4 inches.
Right.
So he could work on it inside in protection.
That's a smart way to handle that problem.
Yeah, and the top is painted white. You can see to give some shade in the air, some reduction in heat transfer in the Arizona sun.
Sure.
But I'm very grateful to those guys that we got this thing together. Here's the Wyoming motif again.
It's on the front too, right?
Yeah.
And there's a Rocket 88 emblem as well.
Yeah, we put that on.
Okay,
I don't think that was
fun.
with us, but
Well,
you know, it's
you gotta have a few little, you know, of your own customizations. Why not?
yeah, and then it's mostly the grandkids have used it as a play vehicle. I've never camped in it. And the reason really is that because during those years I was camping in a vintage trailer I've got, and now that's been destroyed. Somebody hit me from the back.
Oh no.
So that's gone, so I'll find a way to use this thing now.
Right. Well, let's have a look inside.
Okay. Piece of wood that you see is new. They did that.
Okay, so this is 100%.
100% new. There's nothing that was original here.
Okay. But it was recreated the way it was originally?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
With all the unsquare corners and such.
Wow.
He tried to make it a little bit better, but and then we stained the wood. That's a birch wood, and it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
And we've got ventilation here.
Right.
And you know this window opens here, and then these windows slide. I open. That's a late model Oldsmobile steering wheel, and you can see.
But that looks like an original dash to a 52 Olds, I think. Right.
That's the original dash from this vehicle. Yeah. As I got it. And then we added. I can't remember if we put that turn signal in or we bought it. The fuel. One thing doesn't work on this original dash is a fuel gauge, so we added a fuel gauge.
Okay.
Then here's the motor's right in here, so you pop these pull downs.
Okay.
and then you lift this up and you've got the motor.
Looks like an old V8.
Yeah, it may be, it's okay. And then here's a couple access panels.
I see.
It's got batteries in, I think that's, I can't remember if it's parallel or series, but two different 6-volt batteries.
Okay.
We just replicated what was in there. I don't know why they felt they needed 2 batteries.
Do you happen to know anything about these seats? They look a little unusual.
Well, yeah, I got these seats. These are from a Piper Cherokee aircraft.
Well, that's really cool. So this thing fires up and drives, does it?
Yeah, it's a good. We can drive it if you want.
Well, I think it'd be fun to go around the block a little bit.
We'll go around the block.
Looks like the old radio is hiding up here too.
The radio works. There we go.
Oh wow, starts right up.
Yeah. Well, I cheated. I came here and warmed up about a half hour ago.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. I don't really need a seat belt. I'd want to be able to run if this thing got
Better to escape.
So let me see here. So this thing is kind of, it's pretty lousy to back up, the visibility, because you've got, I'm just not good at it, but I don't want to hit anybody's car like yours.
No,
Let's see.
Yeah. No big deal, but
yeah.
do you want me to be sighting at you back there?
I can do it. I know how to get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's our air conditioning. I didn't show you that.
Okay, this thing?
Yeah. Turn that on. And,
Yeah, that's air conditioning right there. Oh, you don't have power steering.
No. Yeah.
The plot thickens.
But now I added
The fan?
this fan, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I added this thing, which is a altimeter.
Oh.
From an airplane.
It's fun to see a few little airplane touches here and there.
Yeah. You know, I don't think I'd do this again, but
man, when sitting in this thing, you feel like you're just right on in front. This is the seating position here.
yeah. Well, I figured this was done in the Winnebago days, in the early Winnebago days. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. The guy figured he was going to make it neater looking.
Well, it definitely has more style than a standard Winnebago, I would,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Okay. Let's see if I'm going to burn myself.
Be careful there.
Yeah. This is going to go here. Now we'll put that
There you go. That works.
And okay. There's one spring. Can't really see very well. One spring, 2 springs. This spring sucks there. So I'm going to go look at my spring box.
Okay, see if you have a stouter one.
Yeah, well...
You don't think the linkage itself got hung up at all, do you?
Well, you know, I can't see well because of that glare. Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
This is like a throwaway. This is so... There's no...
There's nothing going on there.
Yeah, nothing... There's nothing really good happening there.
Okay.
So this is garbage, so I need something... This might work. This feels like a good...
Is that attached to the transmission kickdown?
Yeah, it might, yeah.
Might be.
I don't know. Let me...
I haven't studied this.
Goes here, it can... No, it can't go there. And this is in the closed, this is keeping it closed. So it's this spring that needs to be improved. And so, we have, oh, I see, okay, so we can, yeah, there's only room for one spring here.
I see.
There's only one attachment point on this link, so I can Take this ring out. Maybe there's room for a second. That's not awful.
Well, that's the high standard we look for, not awful.
Yeah. Turn.
Okay, let's quick troubleshooting here.
Yeah. It helps if it's in neutral when I try and start it.
Sounds like it's working.